want the best fan-made content for this Premier League season?
Bringing that real fan experience. Want to see some crazy?
Wherever you are in the world,
bringing you the latest opinions
and fan reactions.
Back again.
Welcome to FanPark Live.
Brand new shows every week.
UFF are going hard this year, you know.
But make sure you lock in. Come on!
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go. Hello and welcome to UFF's in association with FanPark Live's Monday Mass Debate. You have to break those two words up when you say them, especially with an accent like mine. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, please smash that like button for us, whatever platform you are watching us on. I'm joined in the studio by my main man, Adam Charles. He is back in the house, and of course, the biggest YouTuber in the whole world on the footballing planet.
I disagree.
It's Claude. Claude is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Disagree.
What is happening?
I distree about that.
What is happening? We're going to be touching on a few things today. We're going to be looking ahead of the massive mammoth game at the weekend. We're going to bring that forward and talk about the game between Spurs and Liverpool. We're also going to be touching on the fallout and the turmoil still going on at Man United involving Jose Mourinho and, of course, Paul Pogba. But firstly, there's been... Look, we know the international break's here, so there's not a lot to occupy the minds of people out there. But there's been a lot of talk about your home channel, if you like, AFTV over the weekend. I saw AFTV trending on social media, and I thought, what the hell has happened? There's no Arsenal game this weekend. Turns out some fan opinions from the Legends game has caused quite the controversy. Just being captured, please. So let me ask you, Claude, this supposed controversy that's going on AFTV at the minute. I know I'm a bit confused by it. What's actually been said, and why is it trending so much on social media?
Well, the guy that was on it, who actually goes a lot of games. He goes home and away. He goes all over Europe, by the way. He was going on about the who are legends and who are not, who should have been playing, who should not have been playing. And I'm not surprised with the reaction about Anders Limpar, because the guy is, if I'm not wrong, is only about 31 years old. Yeah. It's about so I would have said he was about 2 or 3 when Anders Limpar was. I'm more surprised, to be honest with you, about the reaction from Robbie, who did not react to that at all. Well, you expected Robbie. You expect Robbie to. I was quite surprised he didn't put him straight about that. To be honest with you, what that he just let that go, because I think Anders Limpar is a absolute club legend, mate. And anyone, in my opinion, that has contributed to winning titles, to me, is a club legend.
So you don't agree that I mean, first and foremost. So, I mean, him as an Arsenal fan, I mean, he looked pretty angry that the legends that he loved weren't playing in the Legends match. And for me, like, a Legends game is a bit like a Soccer Aid game. Like, for me, it's not even like, it's beyond, it's lower down the pecking order than watching my brother play Sunday League football, right? Why would, I mean, okay, his comments about, is it Limpar, sorry. Even Perry Groves. I mean, look, Perry Groves.
Perry Groves is a club legend, but he wouldn't have been. He'd been so young. He was about 3 or 4 years old.
I get that, but why are people angry about who's playing in a Legends game? Why does it even matter?
Well, this is another thing. This is another thing altogether. But when people are paying a lot of money, I mean, it might be 25 quid, 30. That's the minimum, yeah, to watch a game like that. And they're on the program, on the match day program. You've got 3 players that didn't even appear in that. They're going to get upset as well. You know, it was sold as on the program as 3 players that weren't even there. And that's, what do you mean
weren't even on the program, but they didn't turn up?
Yeah, from what I've been told, there's 3 players on the program. I haven't seen it. I wasn't even anywhere near the game. To me, it doesn't get me going. But there were 3 players that weren't even at the game, that were featured on the program to be at the game.
Okay,
So, and I think
I
that's-
can
I think
understand that.
and I can understand the
but
frustration there.
The outrage, as far as I see it,
And
is,
what I can't understand is someone like Nwanka Canoe, was told, no, not to what, we've got enough players. And then you've got someone like Eliadere out there, which, I'm sorry, that's taking the piss a bit, isn't it?
okay, well, I can understand that. And it wasn't, Limpar. He pronounced it, yeah. Okay, I don't know who this guy is. He's an Arsenal legend. But
I suppose you
I
weren't
was a
even born.
sprog. I was only a nipper myself, but also I'm not an Arsenal fan. So to know that these players.
Well, you got that brilliant goal at Old Trafford, by the way.
Oh, okay.
When the brawl was going on.
Okay, well,
But
look,
then that's before
again
your time.
before my time. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So I understand the frustration if you're paying money and you've got players there that you don't consider to be legends, but AFTV seem to be getting a lot of stick and a lot of aggression from people. And I'm a bit. What surprises me is that AFTV is a platform that allows fans to express themselves, and I think why things like AFTV, the United Stand, of course ourselves here at UFF and FanPark Live are so important is that we don't filter anything. If you phone up a national radio station, you can't. There's certain things you can't make accusations about people. If you were to talk to Arsenal's official TV station and you were to slag off a legend or you were to attack the manager, they're not going to air that. So I think it's very important and for people to understand that AFTV, along with all the other fan channels out there and YouTubers, they are there to express their opinions and, of course, allow other people to have their say and say exactly what they want without it being aired, without it being censored, and so it does get aired. Are you surprised, Adam, that there has been such sort of heat today towards Robbie and AFTV for just allowing a fan to express his opinion?
A little bit, especially because, especially from people of a certain age and people of a certain generation. Pretty much because I look at it this way: if I don't know, say Fabregas, maybe because of his links to the way he left Arsenal, the way he went to go and play for Chelsea, wasn't invited to a Legends game when I'm a little bit older, and someone was like, "Oh, it's a was invited, sorry," and it's a disgrace. That someone younger said it's a disgrace that he's there. I'd probably be a little bit upset as well. So I think there's a bit of a generational difference.
Yep.
Which I don't quite understand. I didn't even know that this guy was a legend. I didn't even know that he won titles. But also, I think legend
how old
is.
are you then?
Don't worry about me.
How old are you?
Don't worry
then?
about me, Claude.
I thought you was older than that.
Nah, don't
That's
worry.
nice.
No, I'm only joking.
Yes, I think that there's a bit of subjectiveness here with the word legend. I think there's a difference between legend and icon, and maybe, as Claude said, to him, someone who's a legend is anyone who's won titles.
No, I said who largely contributed.
Who contributed towards winning
Yeah,
titles.
I get that.
Whereas to someone else it would be something completely different. So yeah, I think there's a bit of those two at play here, and I don't really get the uproar about it, but I mean, it makes for good.
No,
content.
I get that. I mean, Ian Wright, who I think we'd all agree is not just an Arsenal legend, he's a Premier League legend as well. The position where the controversy comes in, because Ian Wright quote tweeted the video from AFTV and said, "Robbie, and I think Robbie and Ian Wright have got a good relationship. I believe they know each other fairly well." Yeah. But he says, "Robbie, you let him get away."
Yeah, but even
hang on. He says, "Robbie, you let him get away with saying we're scraping the barrel with Anders effing Limpar. Who are these effing people?" And I think a lot of people have said that Robbie sat there and just allowed a club legend and of the likes of sort of Ian Wright and Kevin Campbell and the older generation of Arsenal fans have kind of all agreed that this guy is a legend, or he shouldn't be disrespected by a younger fan saying that we're scraping the barrel to bring him along. But in terms of Robbie's role when it comes to interviewing people,
that's exactly it.
For me, I see Robbie. Look, he challenged the notion of Perry Groves not being a legend. He said that, and if you watch the video properly, after the guy says the disrespectful thing about Anders Limpar, Robbie then asks him a question. So I'm standing there thinking, Robbie's thinking about the question he's going to ask him. So, okay, maybe Robbie could have defended that player's standing within the club. He just defended Perry Groves. Do you think Robbie's getting a bit too much heat over something that isn't even that serious?
Yeah, I think so. As you said, what is Robbie's role? He's probably damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So if he were to interrupt and say, "Oh, don't talk about a guy like that," someone might accuse him of censorship. If he doesn't say something, someone says, "Oh, Robbie didn't even stick up for Arsenal legend." So I think it's catch-22. What is Robbie supposed to do?
With the right situation, I mean, you can have an argument with someone even if you're best of friends. You can.
Of course, you can.
You can actually have a go at Robbie. It doesn't mean he can't have a go at him. Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I think a lot of people have jumped
if you're
on
friends,
this.
You can still say, be straight and say,
no, of course.
I respect that more, actually, that you come out and have a go, even if you're friends, you know what I mean?
But
Rather than say it behind someone's back.
I think what's happened, though, is that people that don't like fan channels, AFTV, Robbie, they've seen Ian Wright's comments and they then use it as a way of... Because look, if Ian Wright walks into a room with Robbie now, I'm sure that they'd shake hands, they'd have a laugh and a joke and they would talk. But the people that I think dislike Robbie, that dislike the platform, and there are Arsenal fans out there and wider people that do
dislike Robbie.
There are people that don't like the platform. You've only got to go on social media and you see that. I don't think Robbie gives a damn. That's their opinion. They're entitled to it. But I think people are taking this far too seriously, and it's interesting because I'm a person who speaks over his callers. I speak over my guests. I do that on a regular basis, but I get criticised for doing that. But I do it because sometimes I think you're saying something that's wrong or disrespectful, and I jump straight on you. So the point is you do, when you challenge your guests, when you speak over your guests, you get in trouble. When you don't do it, you also get people that moan, and it's like the old saying, isn't it? You can please
but everyone is
some of the people some of the time, but never all the people all of the time, or whatever the saying is. But
everyone is entitled to an opinion. Yeah, that's his opinion. That's the guy's opinion, and that's what the whole process is about. Is your opinion. Yeah. So I think in a way, and I love Ian Wright. Don't get me wrong. I love Ian Wright. He's a club legend. I love him to bits, but maybe Ian Wright is gone a bit too harsh with. Saying, "No, this bloke shouldn't be on here." Look, he's entitled to an opinion. I'm entitled to have my say, and I'll say it whether it's positive, negative. I'm not, I'll say it, yeah. And if I think something's not right at the club, I'll say it. And if this guy feels like that, that's his opinion. He's speaking for himself. He's not speaking on behalf of every other fan in the country, or on the behalf. I get this all the time. You're a cancer of the club. You speak, or you're embarrassing the club. No, I speak for myself. Yeah, I speak for myself when I go out there. Yeah, I don't speak for other supporters. Everyone's got their different opinions, and that's what it's all about. If we're going to stop people's opinions, we might just forget it then. And
playing devil's advocate for a bit here,
DT and troops on, and that's it. Let's close the whole show off.
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Mind you, it's getting like that anyway. But anyway, so you know what I'm saying?
No, I do. But playing devil's advocate a little bit, surely a worldwide channel such as Arsenal Fan TV, don't you need to be a representative or an advocate for that channel? So if any other that's basically treating a legend in a bad way, essentially. So shouldn't you treat the legend with a little bit more respect?
That's his opinion. That is his opinion. He doesn't speak on behalf of every Arsenal. That's his opinion.
Fair enough.
Right? And he's entitled to his opinion. But having said that, I think in a way he's not, because he was only about 3 years old when the players played.
No, I get.
So,
no, I understand.
I
understand
think he would have been better off not saying anything about that.
No, he would. But equally, I think it's important to give people
he's entitled to his opinion, and that's what the whole channel's about. If we're gonna just we'll just put him on because he's positive. That's not. Yeah. That's not good.
Well, I think that's what we need to be careful. All fan channels need to be careful of, because I think during the Wenger out, Wenger in sort of debacle. You always had this sort of notion of, they're just a negative channel. But I would sit there, say there was, 10 fan cams that would go up. It was, obviously, you had the 2 or 3 real big sort of Wenger out advocates last season, namely Claude, DT and Troops. But there were just as many people that were equally Wenger in for a long period of time that spoke positively. It's just those videos didn't go viral.
And one that didn't hug him at the end of the season.
Who's that?
One that didn't hug him.
That was Claude.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Claude.
Let's get it straight. I stick to my beliefs as well.
There we go. No. Yeah, now, Javon. No, look, absolutely. We'll take calls on that if people want to on 0203 606 0315. We are also going to move on to talking about Spurs versus Liverpool, but we have a call that we're going to take first, and then we'll jump into the Scassers versus North London's finest. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hiya, mate. I just wanted to ask how much of a nonce is Claude?
Sorry?
How much of a nonce is Claude? Does he enjoy touching kids and that?
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, mate. Listen, mate. How about we take your number, yeah, and I'll take legal action, yeah. Now, fuck off.
Well said, Claude. Well said.
What?
Yeah, of course. He's not going to say that to you, is he? Oh, jeez. Wow.
Oh my God!
Take his number. Take his number down.
Take it.
Oh. Well, you shouldn't take it then. Don't take anonymous anymore. Take his fucking number, because I'll go round there and I'll soon show you what I... Prick.
We've got Mohammed on the line. Woo. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome to Monday Night Masturbate. How's it going, mate?
You're right, man. How you doing, Terry?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. What's on your mind? What do you want to say?
Right, first I want to say, you know, the guy that trolled Claude, then he can fuck himself, man.
Love that.
He's a troll anyway. That's what I want to say, just for start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, what's this debate about?
Well, we haven't actually... we haven't started.
How's he going to call it off?
I'm joking with you, man. I'm joking with you, man.
Look, let me ask you this question, actually. So you watch a lot of fan channels and stuff. Would you say it's right for fan channels to suppress the opinions of fans just because the masses may disagree with it?
It's their opinion, innit? They're entitled to it.
Example being, would it be right for us to not air your calls on FanPark Live about Jose Mourinho just because say Gary Neville didn't like your opinion?
But if he doesn't like my opinion, that's his opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with me. Not everyone's going to agree with your opinion.
No, exactly.
People are entitled to their opinions, aren't they?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't flag him off. Their fault is in quote opinion, have an opinion. People say Mourinho's still the right man for the job. That's their opinion. Am I right? Am I wrong?
100%.
I agree.
Yeah,
Go on.
You're right, but the thing is, there's this saying that's been pushed by people of the left, the liberal agenda. They say that everyone has the right to an opinion, but not everyone has the right to air their opinion. So fair enough, you may have it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the right to air it, or that you have the right for other people to hear what you're saying. So there is that, but again,
so you don't think people have the right to offend, is what you're saying?
Listen, I don't necessarily subscribe to that point of view, but I know that there are people out there that believe just because you can say something doesn't mean that other people need to listen to what it is that you're saying. So yeah, I guess it is part offense as well, but I don't know. It's not, I believe.
I get that point of view. I mean, do you, Mohammed, you yourself, do you find yourself watching things like Arsenal Fan TV? Do you agree with a lot of people today that are saying that, you know, Robbie should challenge the opinions of people more, or do you think Robbie does a stand-up job? He lets people say what they want to say, and he thanks them for it, and they move on?
That's a tricky one, man. I don't know on that one. I don't have to answer that one, man. I don't think I can have an answer to that one. Seriously, I don't watch Arsenal Fan TV that much, but
you can't say that.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, man.
You can't say that in the presence of Claude. At least lie.
What lie? Listen, I'm a straight guy. I'm not gonna lie, innit?
I respect
when it comes
you
to
for
football,
that.
I've got to be honest.
I respect you for that.
There we go. Listen, Mohammed, thank you for your call as ever. I'm sure we'll hear from you after Man United Watford this weekend.
I'll be calling the Watford game after the full time, yeah?
Sweet as. All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Cheers, bye. Fair play. Let's talk a little bit about your favourite team, Adam. Liverpool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Capture this, please, Javern boy. Cheers, mate. So, look, big game coming up at the weekend.
Huge.
Spurs versus Liverpool at Wembley, I believe. I know that's the stadium debate is done now. Let's drop that conversation. It's just literally boring. Spurs, weird start to the season for them.
Yeah.
I don't think they've looked convincing in any game, but 3 wins out of 4. Harry Kane's looking tired. Pochettino's looking a bit stressed. They didn't sign any new players. Liverpool, on the other hand, on fire. I think what you said at the start of the season about them needing to win the league, they're playing like they're going to win the league.
Bro.
I'll jump to you first, Adam, on this. Do you see Liverpool making it 5 wins from 5 away at Spurs, or or do you think they're gonna come to it's gonna come to a little bit of a halt, this great run that Liverpool find themselves on?
I think it's going to be a very good game, but I don't see Liverpool losing. I think maybe a draw, but I don't know what Virgil van Dijk is eating. I don't know what. This is the most athletic defender I've probably ever seen in my entire life. There's a clip of him defending against Mbappe yesterday. I've never seen anyone deal with Mbappe like that before in my life, and it's like he slowed him down, and then managed to get the block in. I think Liverpool's Joe Gomez is maybe the weak link, I guess, but that's just because of inexperience. But their defenses look great. Attacking wise, they've looked good. Their midfield's looking fluid as well. I don't see them losing, but I know that Tottenham, when it comes to big games, they'll turn up. So yeah, I'm probably going for a draw. I'm sitting on the fence.
I think Spurs were really looking good until I thought they went into the Watford game maybe too relaxed.
Yeah,
and that cost them the game. I get the feeling that they're going to want to make up for that in the next game, and I've got a feeling that they might actually sneak this one. But no, I'm going to go for a draw. No, I think it'll be a draw. I can't see Spurs losing this one again. I think they'll make up for that. Because I think the Watford game, I think they took their eye off the ball because of the Man United game. They thought they'd done the hard bit.
Yeah,
they were a bit too more relaxed, and they had that mad 3-4 minutes, didn't they? And they lost the game. And I think Pochettino got really angry with them at the end, and I think they'll make up for it. The way Liverpool are playing now as well, I think this is a draw. I think I'm going to go for a draw on this one.
Yeah, do you know, it's a real interesting one, because I think that if Spurs, Liverpool's last couple of games, the Crystal Palace and who's the team they played for the full victory they got? I think it was Burnley. I think Burnley, they won 1-0. They deserve to win all the games that they picked 3 points up in. There's no doubt about it. But they haven't looked at their scintillating best in attack. And I think if Spurs, barring Mane, that's been sensational, I think if Spurs can set up very well defensively, like they did last year at Wembley,
they know that they can.
Yeah, they set up strong, solid bank of four, solid bank in midfield. They allowed Liverpool very little space in their final third, and then counter-attack with pace. You've obviously got Lucas Moura at the moment. It's in the form of his life. If they can absorb
Eriksen as well.
Yeah, if they can absorb the early 20-minute pressure that Liverpool first 20 minutes, they're just like a ball in a china shop. And if Spurs can absorb that, keep their shape and counter-attack well, I can see Spurs picking up the 3 points in this game at Wembley. From a competitive point of view, it'd be nice to see, both Liverpool and Chelsea drop points sooner rather than later, to sort of get out of this run of just winning game after game after game.
Yeah.
Also to see how they get sort of made to look a little bit vulnerable in a game. If you go back to the Burnley game they had, I keep saying Burnley, or do I mean Brighton? I mean Brighton. Sorry, I do apologise. The Brighton game, Brighton had openings against them. Palace had many openings against them. If Spurs can create that kind of opening and that kind of space with their quality, I think they'll score.
I don't know if they will, because Harry Kane, he doesn't look up to much. I don't know what's happening.
He looks knackered.
I don't know what's happened, but he just doesn't look on it at all. So I don't know. I'd love to say that they'll score against Liverpool, but I don't know. And we all know that if Harry Kane doesn't score, then Tottenham don't really have much else.
Do you think sometimes though, because the Premier League players take their eye off it a bit because they're more worried about the league games ahead?
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I just, if this was a really proper European Championship qualifier against Spain, you can dress it up as well. It's a glorified friendly, won't it? At the end of the day,
it's the UEFA Nations League club.
Yeah, no, it's a glorified friendly where you can mark it up. Would you win? I mean, there's all the different and then listen, it's a glorified. I don't understand the whole thing anyway, but I just don't think. I think the players, they take their eye off a bit, and they're more. Okay. And I think that they've gone out with instructions from their club manager. A lot of these players dropped out as well, didn't they?
I think Dele Alli's now gone back. So Dele Alli's not playing for England this week. So I'm not. I think Harry Kane looks a little bit half a yard slow, a little bit jaded. I really do think. I mean, even in the World Cup, it was like why do you even play in a third place playoff game? It was like, just give the guy a rest now. Give him a bit of a break. He's come back into the Spurs team early.
That golden boot.
No, I get that. I get
maybe
why
he should have been given a rest against Spain as well. Why is he playing in that game? Really? Does he need to be playing?
No, I make him right on that. But I just think if Spurs can set themselves up well and absorb Liverpool, and the games Liverpool played, it wasn't. I don't know why I had Burnley in my mind. Why Burnley in my mind? It was the game against Leicester and the game against Brighton and Palace. All three of those teams against Liverpool created openings and chances, and Liverpool. That they got those last-ditch tackles in when they needed. The goalkeeper made great saves when they needed to. Let's just see if Spurs can do something to upset the apple cart. But interestingly, Liverpool's run of games. So they play Spurs on the 15th. They then got Paris Saint-Germain at home on the 18th. They then got on the Saturday they have Southampton. Midweek after that they play Chelsea in the League Cup. 3 days later they play Chelsea away in the Premier League. Okay, and then they play Napoli away. On the 3rd, followed by Manchester City at home on the 7th.
It's not a joke.
That is literally 3 weeks of football for Liverpool. They're going to play Paris Saint-Germain, Napoli, Man City, and Chelsea twice, and of course Spurs. It's an acid test for them. If they come through that,
then we know that they've got real title.
If they come through that with, picking up victories in the Premier League games, because I think they would fancy themselves at home against Man City. I think. If they're going to win titles, the minimum they should be doing away from home is drawing against the other big sides. Definitely. It's going to be a real great acid test for them. But equally, things like the League Cup are important because I think Jurgen Klopp does need to pick up that trophy.
Yeah, and like
I mean League Cup. I think you'll see 2 reserve teams playing it.
But the thing is, everyone always talks about winning that first trophy, getting the mentality right, and then that kicks on, and then you go on to win other things. Pep Guardiola spoke about it. Pochettino really wanted to win it as well, but. I think he'll go for it.
So you say that, but now we're so much on the Champions League now, and especially with the tough group that they've got, I can see them really putting
Napoli and PSG.
Yeah, I put out a tweet, and I was a little bit sort of tongue in cheek, but it was like, what would the narrative be if both? Because Spurs have got a hard group as well, and so have Man United, and it was like. The way the press were talking about it, it was as if Spurs and Liverpool are getting out their group. It's a foregone conclusion. United are doomed. And do you know what? Man United are going to have to do very well to get out of their group.
What's United's group?
It's got Valencia, Juventus, and there's somebody else in there. But yeah, it's difficult. It's a difficult group. But equally, I want to say Young Boys. I think Young Boys.
I think Juve's did really only.
But look, Valencia are a tough team. Man United, obviously, that was off the back of like 2 defeats on the bounce. So there was a lot of sort of turmoil around the club. But I sort of asked a question like, what would the narrative be if Spurs and Liverpool both drop out of the group stages? Because conceivably they could with those groups. You know, Napoli, they don't have Sarri anymore. So how strong are they going to be in comparison? But the difficult thing for Liverpool there is that they've got their game against Napoli and Paris Saint-Germain sandwiched in between 2 games with Chelsea, and a few days later they play Man City in the league. And are they going to have to, can they play their full strength team twice, the same players twice in 4 days?
They won't win all of those games. That's the first thing to get out there.
Arsenal could make up a lot of ground looking at Arsenal. I'm looking at Arsenal. We've got a load of games there that we should, mind you, we struggle to beat bloody Cardiff. But anyway, having said that, we've got fixtures there that we can build up points while these teams are all playing each other. Yeah,
no, I get that, I really do. Look, we're going to take some calls now on Spurs versus Liverpool. 0203 606 0315. 2 draws from these gentlemen and a Spurs victory from me are our predictions.
Really?
Yes, I'm going for Spurs victory.
By how many?
2-1. It won't be. They're not going to thump them, but I'm going narrow. Any calls? Any calls? Any calls? Any calls? No calls. Come on, Liverpool fans, Spurs fans, get yourselves on the air. We want to hear who you think is going to win between these 2 sides. How are we finished capturing that now? Yeah, cool. That's good. One player that there's a lot of talk about at the minute at Liverpool, Naby Keita.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Alisson.
Now, Alisson, he made a mistake. Do you think there's a lot of? Yeah, we know he made a mistake. Do you think Naby Keita is being overhyped a little bit?
Listen, I think
you can't really tell.
You can't tell first of all, but you got to look at it in context, right? Naby Keita is his first season. Fred came in same time. Yep. There's a fierce rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United. Right? Fred hasn't really taken off.
No.
Pogba, I suppose you could say he hasn't really taken off either. Naby Keita's come in first season and he's outperforming both of those 2. So I think there is a lot of that going on. but realistically, he is playing well. Like you can't deny it. He's had a couple of nice little flicks. We saw that one in the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah, beautiful.
He played excellently in the West Ham game, the first game of the season. So he's doing well, but there are bigger tests to come. So I suppose there is an element of him being...
He also made a big error in that game, didn't he? The Palace game, didn't he?
Well, there was the pass back that almost led to a goal. I mean, look, I look at it this way. I've been really impressed with him. I think he's been fantastic. I'm seeing a lot of like I literally have read articles that have said after 4 minutes I knew this guy was a Premier League superstar in the making, and I just think that's too soon. People say he's the new Steven Gerrard. Don't even disrespect Steven Gerrard with a comment like that.
They said that about Michael Ricketts, didn't they?
No, but it's true. These things happen a lot, and I think that people just got to slow down with him a little bit, and from there, I think you'll be able to, give him a couple of years until you really judge it. Because we've also seen players come into the Premier League. We've seen people come into the Premier League, have great first season. I think at Man United, I think of Javier Hernandez, 20 goals in his first season. Since then, he's never scored 20 goals again. So that's just, for me, I thought he was going to go on and get bigger and better. Didn't happen. We've got a Liverpool fan on the line. Wonder who he's backing. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Dylan.
Hello, Dylan. You're a Liverpool fan, I believe, yes?
Yep.
Good. First of all, give us your thoughts on the big game coming up this weekend. Liverpool travelling to Spurs. Where do you see it being won and lost for your boys?
I think we're going to win 4-0.
4-0? Why by such a big margin?
Because we're better. We've got better players. We've got Mo Salah. We've got Mane. Our team's packed now, and we've got good players on the bench.
4-0.
4-0 straight up. I ain't scared of Tottenham.
How are you going to break Spurs down to put 4 goals past them?
Truth be told, like our midfield right now is like playing amazing. I think like we're better in the counter attack. We're going to counter attack them.
So if they sit back deeply against you as they did last year, how are you going to beat them with no counter attack?
We've got better players. Like Salah's going to make something amazing.
Okay,
That's very confident.
Very confident. Is there nothing about the Spurs team that there's nothing about them you fear at all? Harry Kane, Eriksen, Ali, Lucas Moura.
Lucas Moura scares me, but not Kane. Kane does not scare me at all.
Harry Kane doesn't scare you at all.
Nope.
Why?
Because so far this season he's not been playing amazing at all.
Do you know what? Judging on the England game, I don't think he really got the service, did he, the other night? To be honest with you,
I don't think so. But hey,
no, I understand that. So why is it that Lucas Moura scares you more than Harry Kane?
Because Moura, like, he's a dribbler. He can make stuff happen. Kane, like, you need to provide him a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Eriksen? Doesn't he? Do you not fear Eriksen?
Yeah, Eriksen as well. I think he's world class. Eriksen.
Okay, so you've gone from saying nothing about Spurs scares you to admitting at least 2 players do. If we keep chatting, any other players that scare you that you want to admit to?
Not that much. Not more than that. I'll say like the only 2 players I might be afraid of are like if Dembele plays. I think he's good.
So
gone for free now.
So if you're talking about Dembele and his creativity and his dominance, if you're talking about Eriksen being world class at creating opportunities, Lucas Moura creating things out of nothing, the chances are one of those 3 players may actually put, if Harry Kane only scores tap-ins, what if they create Harry Kane tap-ins? He's, 41 goals last season, 35 the year before that, 28 the year before that. Does it not worry you that he might tap in those chances?
Now. This season you've got better players, you've got better defenders. Like, we've got Van Dijk now, we've got Keita in midfield. Keita is world class.
Keita's world class after 4 games.
Okay, have you been watching Bundesliga?
I don't watch the Bundesliga, no. But you say he's world class.
He's world class, mate.
Premier League proven after 4 games.
Yeah, no, he's not like right now. He's gonna prove it more, but like to me against Tottenham, they don't have that.
But if you're world class, you're Premier League standard, right? You can't be world class and not be able to play in the Premier League. So you're saying he's Premier League proven after 4 games.
Have we lost this season? We haven't lost 1 match.
Okay, so I'm asking you a question: is he Premier League proven after 4 games?
Not proven yet, but he's going to prove it.
And people should be scared of him.
Yes, they should be scared of him because everybody's writing him off.
Okay, so you're not.
Everybody's writing who off?
Who's writing who off?
Yes, a lot of fans, they don't rate Keita that high. They think like he's basically a flop. It's going to be a flop.
Show me
who's ever said that.
Who? Yeah, I don't know.
Bruv, man, I know you. trust me. Keita, like, if you watch the Premier League so far, he's been playing for our team.
So Naby Keita, after 4 games, is like world-class Premier League proven. But you don't fear Harry Kane in sort of who's played 200 Premier League games and scored 142 goals. He's not a fear, or there's no threat, there's no worries there at all.
Like, he's a bit of a threat, but he's not that much of a threat to me. He does not scare me that much.
Okay.
Fair enough. I mean, he's got his right to.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, appreciate your call. Just trying to say 4-0. You're staying with 4-0 to Liverpool for this game.
4-0, straight up. All right, thank you for letting me call.
Not a problem.
Be honest, you'll take a draw, won't you?
Very confident.
Yep.
Yeah, it's someone says here, Terry, the caller has a point. Football exists outside the Premier League, and I definitely know that it exists outside the Premier League. I understand that. My point is this: you say a man's world class. I'm not asking whether that's your opinion. The world class thing for me, it's so objective what people even consider world class to be. Subjective, sorry. Yeah, some people are like, well, you best 3 in the world in your position. Some say top 10 in your position. Yeah. Some say you have to be in the world 11. So for me, that's great. I'm asking the question, Premier League proven. For me, no one after 4 games is Premier League proven.
Would he get in? For me, it's would he get in a world squad of 20 or something like that? That would, for me.
He may do, but then we haven't seen him.
That's what I would consider world class.
Yeah, and I think with Naby,
he's done a world squad of 20 players.
And I don't think he'd get in the midfield right now. He might do by the end of the season once we see him play regularly in the Premier League, once we see him perform in the Champions League.
Even then, I think it's too premature.
Okay, well, I'm trying to, as you say, be a little subjective to that point of view, but that's cool. We've got more calls ready, Javon. Let's get these calls. Let's get the ball rolling.
Wowzers, 4-0.
I know. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Terry, how you doing? Bora.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yes, I just want to talk about the Watford game and Mourinho.
Go for it.
I'm a Mourinho out, as you are. I've seen your opinions on your channel. I think he's gonna Zidane's gonna replace him. I genuinely believe that. But if we lose against Watford, if I'm right, that's our next fixture, right, Terry?
So I can't hear you great because Javon, can you take him out of the earphones and put him in here? Say that again, please.
I said, is our next fixture Watford?
Yes.
I don't know.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Watford away, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah, I'm saying if we don't win that game, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mourinho to get top 4 because I don't think we win the league. I think we'll come 4th or 5th. I genuinely believe that because Mourinho's tactics are like getting old. Because if you think about him, when he used to be, I wasn't born then, but when he used to be in the past managers, when he won 2 league titles in a row, his tactic used to work.
When were you born?
Pardon?
When were you born?
Oh, 2004. So.
Oh my God! So you were like a baby. Well, maybe what month? What month?
March.
Okay, so you literally were like 2 months old when he won the Champions League.
So you never saw the Invincibles then?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Look. I think first and foremost, I think there is always pressure on Jose Mourinho
I think they'll win against Watford. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but look,
because everyone in there is expecting Watford, and I think United will be really up for that game.
Look, they will be. Look, there's always pressure on Jose Mourinho to make the top 4, no doubt about it. The interesting thing you say about what's your reason for wanting Jose out though? Because you've said I'm Jose out. We know why I'm Jose out because I think we need to expose the board and the structure for being as poor as it is. So I think you need to remove the manager to prove that point. What's your reason for wanting Jose out?
His just persistence with Martial, like with playing like Martial, because if you think about it, Martial's got like some potential to be the best the best player in the Premier League. If you think about it, he's got that much potential, but he doesn't let him use it. Right, I think Martial would leave. I think he won't sign a new contract.
Okay. So that's your opinion on that. That's fine. On Jose Mourinho, a lot of you mentioned outdated tactics, and I'll ask you this question: the last 2 games against Spurs and against Burnley, respectively, over 40 shots on target, over 20 chances created in both those games. If Jose continues in that vein of form, we continue with that attacking style of play. Would you change your mind about him being our manager? Because if he changes his tactics and plays the more modern way, entertains people, and gets the most out of people like Martial, would you change your mind?
It's a tough one because he has to win trophies. He has to. That's one of the major trophies. He has to. He has to be like Pep. Pep plays attacking football and win trophies.
So basically, what you are saying is the only way Jose can stay at United, in your opinion, is to win major trophies and to play attacking football.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. That's your viewpoint. That's your opinion. Thank you very much.
I don't think Watford. I think, to be honest with Watford.
What?
If the game against Spurs were in control of that game, yeah, and they didn't put their chances away, and I think there are weaknesses that what Man United will exploit in that game. I think Man United, that whatever price you get on it.
I'm confident.
Man United will win that game. I'm telling you.
I'm confident in Man United beating them, no doubt about it. It's one of those things. Look, as I say, a lot of people want. I'm not saying that guy. He does want Jose clearly, and he obviously wants attacking football, but that's not enough. He needs to win. But at least, you know what? At least with that caller, he's like, I want both. Some people ring up and they're like, if we just play attacking football, I wouldn't be unhappy. It's like, well, I would be. I kind of want both those things together, and it's an interesting one. We've got another call coming through.
If you want it at the time, go to the cinema.
Oh, Claude.
That's what I know.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Russell.
Hello, mate. Who do you support?
Manchester United, mate.
Lovely. What's on your mind? What do you want to say?
I just have a couple of things I just want to run through you quickly. The first thing is I really don't understand the stick that Mourinho is getting. I mean, I understand it, but I don't see where the justification for it is. Because, like your previous caller, he was just, I don't know, all over Mourinho, but I guess he's just a 14-year-old, so he would never understand. But Jose Mourinho is a world-class coach. He's been, I don't even know why I have to say this. He's been proven over and over again in 3 different countries. And for us to even doubt that Jose Mourinho can get us progress at Manchester United is a bit immature as fans, because he came in 2 years ago. Let's just have a quick look at his resume at Manchester United. He came in 2 years ago. Fair enough. We got 6th. But we won the Europa, got us back into the Champions League, won a couple of cups, or 1.5 cups. And the next season we came second to an amazing Manchester City. And already you have people who are doubting that we can progress even further than that, just because Mourinho is an outdated coach. I really don't understand that line of thought.
Is the reason as well, though, it's because you come second to Man City that the supporters are reacting that way? You know what I'm saying? Because it's Man City and it's your rivals, that people are reacting. It's like Arsenal. If Arsenal finish second this season and Spurs win the title, there'll be a lot of angry Arsenal fans.
Well, look,
do you understand?
I made the point last year, and I asked a question, and I think people that want Jose out, they don't want to look at it from another point of view. And I asked the question: if City won the league last year, but they weren't that record-breaking, scintillating team, if Man United performed the same style of football, yielded the same amount of points, and only finished 3 points behind City that were better, but only marginally, I don't think this same uproar would exist. It's that 19-point gap. But the thing that stood out to me massively, and I get this from a Man United fans don't care how far behind Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool were. They care about their own club. But from a media point of view, there was nobody questioning the fact that every other club was even further behind Man City last year. And I get that. But look, equally we know that Man United sell newspapers. But what's impressed me the most with Jose, I would say, in the last month, has been his change of attitude himself. You know, no more when we've had bad results, he hasn't hung anybody out to dry in public. He's remained positive in the right areas, and the football has been better. There is no doubt about it. The only thing I'm asking for from him now is to continue in that fashion and continue in that vein. Because what I noticed that's helped him in the last few weeks, as his football's improved, and as the likes of Paul Pogba have continued, for me, to disrespect the club in the media, talking about transfers away. Suddenly, there are people out there.
But is that him or his agent?
No, Pogba's done the interview. That's him saying it. I don't care if you're having your strings pulled by another man and you're a man yourself. That's still you. Like, no man controls what comes out of my mouth. No one ever has. No one ever will.
Oh, was it his actual words?
No, his words. He did the interview.
Because a lot of these times it's the agent.
No. This is Pogba. This is Pogba. But from your point of view, when you look at Paul Pogba, do you think that he's disrespected the club in the interviews he's given in the last couple of weeks?
I think he's disrespected himself, actually. I mean, Manchester United is a big club with or without Pogba. So I'm more worried about his state of mind than the state of Manchester United in that particular case. Because if he can come out and say stuff like that when he's at a club where he has a platform to, I don't know, to perform, and especially after the World Cup, and prove to people that he can actually do it under pressure, and then he comes out with comments like that, I think it only does injustice to him, because I think he's an amazing player. He doesn't need to come out and comment. He could have easily said, "I'm happy at Manchester United," and left next year. No one would give. I don't know.
Yeah, he could have taken a leaf out of David De Gea's book. He really could. But listen, really appreciate your call, mate. Thank you.
I just wanted to add a little thing on Mourinho quickly.
Yep.
That's fine.
Go on.
Like you were saying, I totally agree with what you're saying, because the season we had with, I think, 81 points is it? Don't take my word for it, but I think we had 81 points last season. And I've watched football long enough to know that that's a title challenging, if not winning, amount of points. And with Smalling, and Jones in our defense for most of the season, I think that was an amazing achievement from Jose. And the board should have backed him with Alderweireld. That's just my opinion.
Mate,
I don't know.
I totally understand that, mate. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, look, good call. Guy's got his opinion. What's really stood out as interesting to me, and we are going to talk about the Paul Pogba situation in a moment. We'll go on to the Paul Pogba situation. Like Jose, I think it's weird because like you got rants, rants and bants. He come out with, I'm not going to get his tweet exactly right, but he kind of said like, this is the gangster Jose Mourinho that I was expecting to be at the club. He actually even said in his tweet, I don't even care about the quality of football. If I wouldn't have cared about the quality of football if we had this Jose, the guy that was arrogant, standing up to the press. The interview he kind of did where he was like, they can't sack me, it's going to cost them too much money. Yeah. Like, he said it as, actually, if you go back and listen to the journalist who actually took the interview, he said it completely tongue-in-cheek. There was no seriousness about it at all. But let's not let the media do that. But I think what Paul Pogba hasn't helped with is that United, there started to be a little bit of a lull of negativity, and then Pogba, I think he's given 3 interviews during his international break. He keeps getting questioned about his future, and it's the comments along the lines of, I'm here right now, I have a contract, but who knows what the future brings. And there was a really good article that was done in The Guardian about Paul Pogba, and it speaks about that this actually is how Paul Pogba has behaved his whole footballing career. He did it at his youth level club in France. He did it at Man United as an academy player. There was talk of him leaving Juve for the last 2 years that he was there, even though he was winning. The talks to rejoin Man United started 2 years before he came. They started under the LVG reign. So Pogba does this this is part of Pogba's operating model. And I think, again, the issue I have with it is that people are using, Pogba's obviously speaking publicly, and I think it's disrespectful to the club and the badge. I'm not really that bothered about it being disrespectful to Jose, because Jose, again, I want him respected because he's the manager, but it's the position he holds at the club that I want respected more than the man himself. Yeah. And I think Pogba's doing nothing different to what Sir Alex Ferguson warned us him and his agent would do. This is the way they behave. And I think people are using it as another stick to beat Jose Mourinho with, where in fact Pogba has behaved this way his entire career, no matter who he's been his manager. And one of those managers was Sir Alex Ferguson, the man you would say has probably been the best for youth players at elite clubs in the last 30 years in European football, potentially. He did it to him. So to say that, he did it to whoever was his manager at Juve, was it Allegri or was it Conte? Both. He was still having conversations about leaving like this during the time he was there.
I think it was both. Yeah.
It could have been both, yeah. But so the point is, it doesn't, this isn't just a Jose thing that I want to just leave because it's Jose. And he come out and he said that, me and Jose, there's been issues, but we have a player-coach relationship. I work hard for wherever I'm at. I'm playing here at the moment, but then he goes, but who knows what's going to happen in the near future? And that's just one of those comments. He doesn't need to add that last sentence in. Just say, I'm here, I'm under contract, I'm happy. Behind the scenes, they can be vying for a move. Yeah. But you don't need to keep that public turmoil going, because all that does, it puts pressure on the club, it stresses the fans out. The interesting bit for me, though, is the people that dislike Jose, again, they will pick up on this and they use it as another tool to beat him over the head with. And that's why I don't think he should be doing it. Rooney got criticised for going public about wanting to leave the first time round, and rightfully so. Raheem Sterling got stick for going public about wanting to leave.
What did he actually say? What did he actually say? Because sometimes these things can be lost in translation.
So yeah, okay, he did speak. He did speak in French, but it's been verified by people that speak French. He come out and said, you know, I'm under contract. He says I'm playing here at the moment, but who knows what will happen in the near future. The misquote was they said in the next few months. Turns out it wasn't the next few months. It was the near future. So,
exactly.
But that was because the first time the comments came out, it was hard because it was him speaking in French and it was heavily dubbed over in German. So people were translating it. They could barely hear the French. It was being translated into German back into English. But what he did say...
Terry, also, not want to interrupt you, didn't Hazard do the similar thing? Yeah, after a couple of... He said the same sort of thing as what Pogba said. And then after that, he said, I'm committed to Chelsea. So I wouldn't take much notice of it, to be honest.
No, I get that. I
could be playing for a new club.
I think there is a bit of that. I'll get a big move to Barca, or I'll get a new contract. Look, Sergio Ramos, he's loved at Real Madrid, but he did the same thing. He flirted with Man United for months, and I get that. But at the same time, I still don't think it's respectful.
Yeah.
So for my point,
that's the biggest
future. But he's not. He could be talking about 5-10 years time.
No, near future means very close. I wouldn't say in the near future I'm going to turn 50. I'm not. That's 20. It's not. That's not the near future, is it?
That,
but that's not. That's not the near future. The point is, it's a respect thing. And again, I'm not. You know, I'm not even. It's about the badge. It's about the club. And for me, he's disrespecting it. And the bit that frustrates me is he's doing it at a time where there is turmoil at the club, and the club needs there to be an air of, you know, a lot of the other players are coming out. You know, oh, Jose's a great guy. He texts us. He's fun. He's this. And I think that's right for the morale. You really want to be successful.
But what if he doesn't feel that way? You can't tell him to pretend.
Professionalism. Like, listen, on a level, look, I've had bosses at work that I've not got on with. Yeah. Right? If a staff member was like, oh, are you guys okay in here? I'd go, yeah, absolutely fine. Bit of tension today, but everything's fine. We get on great. I wouldn't tell the customers in the business I work in, yeah, we all hate each other, because it doesn't make the customers feel confident that they're getting a professional service. And you need a united front going out. Hang on, but okay, let's just say you're right then. He can say what he wants in public. He doesn't feel it. But why does Jose get criticised for publicly outing people? My point is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Jose's wrong to air his dirty laundry in public, so should Pogba and other players. If we're going to say Pogba's allowed to do it, I don't want no more criticism of Jose when he does it.
But hold on. Has he really aired dirty laundry? Or has he just said, who knows what happened?
A week before that, he turned around and says, I wish I could say what I want, but I'll get fined if I do. So this isn't the first interview you've done. So look, so there's my point. So my point is this: I think it's disrespectful. People convinced me that Jose was disrespectful for doing it. I now agree with them. My point is, let's not have Jose derangement syndrome, chastise him for doing one thing, but then allowing Pogba to do identically the same thing. Different words he's using, but still airing dirty laundry in public and disrespecting the club. And if you're going to attack one, for me, you should be attacking the other. We've got some more calls to jump onto when Javern bothers to put them through. Cheers, mate. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Luigi.
Hello, Luigi. Who do you support?
I support Juventus, but I want to speak about Mourinho.
Go for it. Yes, lovely. Yeah, far away.
Yes, I think he gets a lot of slack. I do think he's a really world-class manager. Yes, maybe his attitude and maybe how he behaves publicly doesn't help him.
Yep.
But overall, think about it this way. Look at their defenders and tell me which player will be a first-team player in any of the big teams. None. Yet he arrived at second place last season. So that's an achievement by itself. And I don't understand why he gets a lot of slack. He didn't get the players he wanted this summer. He didn't buy a lot of players. So you can't really expect for him to do a better or equal season as last season. So I really don't understand the slack.
Do you know what? I'm going to be fair on this. I would say the only thing I would say is that two of the defenders, Lindelof and Bailly, Jose Mourinho has brought into the club. They are both still young, and I expect him to develop them over the coming years to be better defenders than they currently are. But the rest of your comment there, like, he didn't buy the rest of those defenders. And again, when you look at the FIFA Pro 11 that were announced today, you look at the defenders on that list, and the point is, Man United used to always have, for me, for 20 years, Man United always had defenders that were getting onto those lists, and we're nowhere near it now, so that needs to be improved. Can I ask you a question as a Juventus fan?
Yeah.
When Paul Pogba played for you, in your opinion, how consistent was he? Did you see the world-class Pogba game in, game out?
In my personal opinion, I think Pogba was really great for Juventus. He played consistently, and he really performed, I would say, 9 out of 10 matches.
Respect that.
I have to add that he did have the right team behind him. So he played in a three-man midfield. He played on the left, and Allegri made him play in his best of it, to the best of his abilities. And that's what I think. I think he's not performing because A, he doesn't have the right players with him, and B, Mourinho has something which is he changes the formation a lot. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Pogba, perhaps he's not that way.
Yeah.
But again, I also was listening to what you were saying about Pogba being public about his opinion. I do think that while he was in Juventus, he was a bit more respectful than how he is right now. I think he is kind of vocal, and he's kind of sneaky about the things he say. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but also at Juventus, he's got a lot of strong characters that wouldn't allow him to mess about either.
Agreed.
Bonucci would have shut.
Yeah, again, and I think that's the thing missing at Man United. Those types of players that would do that. But listen, Luigi, I respect your opinion. It's different to what I've heard from some other Juventus fans, but look, I respect what you say because you watch that team week in, week out with Pogba. I didn't, so I will bow to your superior knowledge. Thank you very much for your call.
Matt, and I'll be waiting that match with United, man.
I'm dreading it.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Take care, my friend. Thank you. Look, I respect his opinions on that because again, other Juve fans have told me different.
Yeah.
But equally, like, I don't watch the team. I'll always respect an Arsenal fan's opinion on the style of football his team play. A man who watches every single... Actually, I do watch every Arsenal game now because I sit here and do this. It's interesting, actually. Arsenal are probably the only other team in the last sort of... my whole life, in the last year, I've literally watched every game, home and away, League Cup games. I read about it because I do so much on AFTV.
You had to watch
It's the only team where I'm like, I kind of feel like I know not as much as the fans because of the history, but in the last year, it's like I've watched every game. So it's Let's chuck some more calls on, please, Javon, mate.
Deep down, you're Arsenal fan.
Yes.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Elwood.
Hello, mate. Who do you support?
Arsenal.
Good. What's in your mind? What do you want to say?
I want to talk about Man United.
Go for it.
I think people criticise Mourinho too much, you know. I think so. I think people ask him to play attacking football. He hasn't got the right players to do so, in my opinion.
Okay.
Does he not? Really?
Let me explain to you. If you want to play attacking football, you need a defence which can play out from the back, like Pep Guardiola's, like Klopp's. They can play out from the back. With Jones and Smalling, let me ask you this question, Terry. Do you have confidence in Jones and Smalling playing from the back?
No, do you know what? That's the when people say, can I ask you, I'm going to take what you've said as an assumption, tell me if I'm right. When people say United don't have the players to play attacking football, when I hear that, I think instantly that we don't have a strong enough defence to play attacking football because we get exposed. So I think we have the attacking players to play attacking football. Again, if you were to literally take Toby Alderweireld and Bonucci and stick them as our centre-backs, the world would change overnight, in my opinion. So, and that's the difference. And you look at Liverpool now, why they look so good. It's suddenly, and look, Klopp deserves all the credit for buying some and developing them. Suddenly they've got a really good defensive line and goalkeeper. And I think that having the right strong defence is important. But equally, you know, Jose's had an attempt. He's brought in 2 of those centre-backs in Lindelof and Bailly, and they haven't hit the heights yet. So
we don't know if they were his signings.
Exactly. And
that's true. Well, Woodward has confirmed that he doesn't get the final say. So what if they were like 3rd or 4th on the list?
Yeah, but we don't know.
Exactly. Are you telling me that would have been his first choice?
Edwards was going to say, okay, no, I'll give you Lindelof.
I definitely
said, I want Alderweireld or whatever, and then Edwards was gone and said, yeah, I'll give you Bailey instead. We don't know that.
No, listen. I think you're right. This is the problem with Man United because of the lack of structure, because of the lack of continuity, because of the lack of football brains at the top of the club now. For me, I'm not. That's why I've said already. Like, get rid of Jose, keep Jose. I still think the same problems are going to persist. And you know, everyone says, "Oh, it's nothing to do with the bald." Some people say the bald. It's nothing to do with them. It's Jose, and he's toxic. But I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, this same board employed Moyes and gave him a 6-year contract. David Moyes is still being paid by Manchester United Football Club as we speak right now. They brought in LVG and wasted loads of money buying the wrong players. They brought in Jose Mourinho, knowing exactly the type of man he was, exactly the type of tactics that he plays. So to sit there and say that this is all the manager's fault, and that if we just by bringing in a new person, all of this sort of inconsistency and turmoil is going to end, I think is such a ridiculous notion. It's unbelievable.
I've got another thing to say as well. If people think that Man United are a team where they can bypass the defence and play into the midfield and attack and just score goals, look at Liverpool when they challenged for the title against City. At the end of that season, what cost them was their defence. They would bypass the defence, go to midfield, score goals. But at the end of the season, what cost them was their defence. They couldn't defend. When they had to defend, they couldn't defend. And that's the notion which people are creating, that, oh, Man United can play attacking football because they've got Pogba, they've got Lukaku, they've got Rashford. But they haven't got the defenders to allow them to facilitate for Pogba and Rashford.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was with you.
That's the whole point.
I was with you.
Need to understand,
sorry.
if you want to play attacking football, you start from the back. You ask any top manager who wants to play attacking football, where does the attack start from? They'll say from the defence. And then you'll ask them, where does the defence start from? They'll say from the attack.
Okay. I was with you until I just looked quickly, and I looked at the players that Mourinho had during his time at Real Madrid. The centre-backs he had were Pepe and Ricardo Carvalho.
Quality players.
Quality players. Not disputing that they are excellent defenders, but Carvalho at 33 and 34, which he was during the first 2 seasons of Mourinho's reign, neither of those are heralded as ball-playing centre-backs. Neither of those are heralded as players who play out from the back.
Real Madrid under Mourinho, they were still a counter-attacking team. I think people forget that.
Yeah, not disputing that.
They were still
I think he's done you, Adam.
He's
done you, Adam. Adam, he's just done you.
How's he done me?
He has just done you because they weren't playing. They didn't play out from the back, did they? That was his whole point.
But his first point was you need defenders that can play out from the back.
Unless you play counter-attack football, but that's not attacking football, which is what no one wants Man United to play counter-attack. They want Man United, which is pragmatic. They want Man United to play attacking.
He's just said what your initial point was. What, that you want defenders, or that players want. Sorry, supporters want centre backs that can play out from the back, right?
If you want to play out from the back, you need the defence.
Which is what we first of all agreed on. That's what you said. That was your initial point. But Mourinho at Real Madrid had centre backs that didn't play out from the back.
But he didn't play out from the back at Real Madrid.
But he didn't play.
They played counter-attack football.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you're a bit confused.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. It's been a long day.
Adam, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
It's Adam. Just soak his head. Listen, really appreciate the call, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Adam, I get your point, but he was. You actually were agreeing with him. Actually,
I don't. Maybe I was. No, I stopped listening.
No. The interesting thing with what he's saying is right. The types of defenders that Jose had there.
Yeah.
You play a defensive team and you spring and you counter.
Yeah.
But Man United fans don't want that. Man United, they want to be the aggressor.
Oh, I see.
And if you be the aggressor, you get exposed like against Spurs.
Fair dues.
I think that's the point the guy was making.
I hope it was.
Let's get the last call of the night on, please. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name? Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hello. What's your name?
Hi.
Oh, he's gone. Sounds like I caught him. He's waiting so long, it sounded like he got busy doing something else on a bit of the old hub. You know what I mean? It's all. What is. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have cameras soon in our tech room with microphones, so you can actually hear some of the genius things that come out of Javern's mouth. And one of them, what just came out, was pretty genius. There we go. But we'll save that for another day. Gentlemen, I appreciate your time here this evening.
No problem.
FanPark Live is back, of course, this weekend. Many games. Spurs, Liverpool, Man United versus Watford. Who were Arsenal playing?
We're at Newcastle. We got a long 8-hour coach trip to Newcastle.
Well, I just have a little look at the fixtures this weekend, see which ones stand out as being the big boy fixtures this week. Let's get them up now. I haven't even checked all the fixtures, only certain games. So here we go. Yeah, so Saturday's a big day. Literally, yeah, 12:30. You've got Spurs, Liverpool. 3 o'clock, Newcastle host Arsenal. Chelsea play Cardiff at home. That's easy. Fulham are travelling to City. United away at Watford, and then Super Sunday. Honestly, I'm quite interested in these two games on Sunday. Wolves versus Burnley
interesting. I think there'll be nice and lots of goals there. And then Everton versus West Ham as well. And Monday Night Football is an absolute corker. Southampton, Brighton.
Oh, jeez, I'm joking. But when are Man United playing them? What time?
5:30 on Saturday.
Oh, Saturday night, 5:30.
So, yeah.
You're going to have a busy day then, aren't you?
I am going to have a very big... Are you in Saturday?
Yeah.
Yes. This man has barely been here so far this season.
The Arsenal game, will you?
Maybe. Robbie sorts me out. Robbie lets me have my opinion on there.
I'll be expecting a call from you then on Saturday.
If you lose, I'm not going to call you if you win. I don't want to hear from you if you win. Do you know what I mean? That's boring.
No, don't you like a happy Claude?
No, I don't like Claude. I like Claude when he's so angry he could kill someone.
Everyone loves the miserable bastard, don't they? Yeah.
That's it. I've done a lot of shows with Claude. He's not as miserable as he makes out. I actually think what he does, what you don't realise is when he actually... This isn't even Claude's real voice. He's very posh and very well spoken. The whole thing is a charade.
Well, you've heard my phone message, haven't you?
Yeah, it's an absolute facade. He isn't really like this. Have you ever heard of the comedian Al Murray, the pub landlord?
Yeah.
You know he's very posh. That's all an act. Like I heard him talk for real, and I was like, oh my god. Do you know who else is posh? I didn't know this for years. Only Fools and Horses, right? The guy that plays. You don't watch Only Fools and Horses? No.
You don't watch Only Fools and Horses?
Oh my god!
Why should I watch it?
It is the greatest sitcom and comedy.
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't.
But with character Rodney from it, who's like they play their boys from Peckham. Rodney is Nicholas Lyndhurst, who plays him, is also very posh, and it's weird. You're like, oh wow, you're a good actress. Another one was like that, who played Pat Butcher in EastEnders. Again, super posh. You hear her voice, you're like, Jesus, you just don't expect her to come out.
Even Dot.
Yeah, Dot Cotton. Yeah, same.
June Brown. Yeah.
She's very well spoken.
You know, you watch all that, don't you?
I mean. Yeah, I know.
Matthew here says. Matthew here says Monday Night Football is going to be lit. Do you know what though? Sometimes I always used to like. Me and my old housemates we used to do like Super Sunday sessions, and it was literally all the boys would come round for every Super Sunday from say midday until 6, 7 at night, and we'd just get on the drink. And sometimes you'd have a Super Sunday where it was like this weekend coming where you're like Wolves, Burnley, Everton, West Ham, but I won't bother. And you'd stick on Match of the Day too, and it was like one game was a 5-3, another game was a 3-1. They were sending off, and you're like, why didn't I watch those games? Because normally they're more open because both teams will go out and attack and play expansive football, which is great. But listen, everyone, thank you all for tuning in. Claude, how old is Ty? That's the question.
Ty is 47.
And how young are you, sir?
Hey?
How young are you?
I'm 56.
56.
Wow.
Adam, how about yourself? What's your age?
20.
20?
Yeah.
20 years old.
Look at that.
That's it.
20. No way. 20.
No, I'm 26.
26.
Yeah.
Is that without the VAT or what?
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah. 26.
No, yeah, 26.
Ty is 47.
No, 47.
See, he looks younger with his hat on. When he takes his hat off.
Oh, yeah, then you see, yeah.
But like, see, my brother's like 34, but he's got like, he's lost all his hair. So it's like, he looks a little bit older than he really is because he's bald, do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm so desperate. My hairline is, it's receding, it's getting thinner.
Just chop it, Terry.
But I'm hanging on. No, not yet. Until, do you know what? Until...
You know he was an extra in Grange Hill.
Who was?
Ty.
Where? Well, like the original with like Todd Carter and stuff.
Yeah,
was it Todd Carter?
Yeah, years ago he was an extra in Grange Hill.
He was destined for greatness.
How'd the music go for Grange Hill? Do you never watch Grange Hill either?
Nah, man.
Jeez.
Grange Hill.
Do you know I used to love Grange Hill?
Grange Hill,
yeah, that's it. Grange Hill and Biker Grove. They were my two shows as a kid. I used to love them. They were always on like between 5 till 5:30, and then it would be. And then you switched over to BBC at the time, and it was then you'd get Neighbours, and then at 6 o'clock you go to BBC Two and watch The Simpsons. That was no satellite TV in my day.
The old Magic Roundabout. Magic Roundabout.
I
was on that as well.
No, you're lying. That's the car. Ain't real. There's not people on that. Who did he play?
Hey?
Who was he? Is it Zebedee? Is Zebedee on Magic Roundabout? Yeah, but this was it. Like children's TV, you'd finish school at 3 o'clock. You'd get home by say 3:30. And like my shows I used to watch were the Queen's Nose, which was like a girl that had a 50p piece and she'd rub it and she like wishes would come true.
What is this?
The Demon Headmaster was amazing. The Demon Headmaster was the best show. There was another show that I watched when I was a kid, younger than this, and they used to go around this like the worst like CGI ever, and they had a big helmet on. It was called Nightmare. And this show was amazing. But you'd watch all these shows during the day.
Bill and Ben.
Bill and Ben. That was a little before my time, but I did used to watch that. What other big shows were there when I was younger? Fresh Prince. We all remember Fresh Prince.
Yeah, Fresh Prince.
But I'm talking about what was on like CBBC One. There were some big shows them days. And there was another one that used to... Grain Chill was on. Tracy.
Now we're talking.
No, I'm too old for Tracy Beaker.
Tracy Beaker is the one. Man, I'm talking about Magic Roundabout and Bill and Ben and all these dead shows
was
there,
the one, man.
Tell me about a real show, Tracy Beaker.
No, I'm too old for that.
The Dumping Ground. Come on.
I watched that. And
Come on.
It's with children's TV shows in the 90s. Let's see what comes up, and I'll see if I can remember some more of these. Rugrats was a good one.
Yeah, Rugrats.
Rugrats was the one. Here we go. 100 TV shows, 90 kids will remember. Rosie and Jim. Do you ever watch Rosie and Jim?
Oh, I love that.
Rosie and Jim. Rosie and Jim. Brilliant. Riding along on the old rag doll. Yeah, that was quality, mate. Yeah. Bodger and Badger. That was that show. You must have watched Bodger and Badger.
Yeah, very clever, that Rosie and Jim.
Rosie and Jim was banging, mate. That was a proper TV show.
They were moving about and no one even
noticed. and that was in the day.
Absolutely brilliant.
Williams Wish Wellington, don't remember that.
That's not even real.
Oh, Bernard's Watch.
I feel like I remember
Bernard's Watch was the one. Dennis the I know Dennis the the famous Five. Yeah. Where's Wally was actually a TV show originally.
Dead.
The Riddlers. I watched the Riddlers. Oh my God, the Riddlers. Oh, that's crazy. Rainbow. Do you ever watch Rainbow?
What's that?
With Bungle and Zippy and George.
Oh, man.
What's that? Man, don't know Rainbow.
You never watched Rainbow?
Bro, listen, my mum used to make me read books. I don't know about TV. Rainbow. I don't know about all of that.
My mum.
I literally don't have a clue what that is.
Do you ever watch Arthur?
Yeah, Arthur used to bang.
You must have watched Art Attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a Saturday morning.
I'd love to play Granger, but we'll get a copyright infringement for playing it. Biker Grove, do you ever watch Biker Grove?
Nah.
Biker Grove.
Based in Newcastle, though.
Yes. That was the Ant and Dec started. Saturday morning, this is the best Saturday morning show ever. It was called Live and Kicking.
Yeah, I know.
You know what's Live and Kicking? Yeah. I'm getting so nostalgic here. SMTV Live was like the rubbish version. Cracker Jack was cool. Yeah. The Adventures of Rupert the Bear. Did you watch Hey Arnold?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Rugrats was one. Goosebumps. Goosebumps was really
I get those goosebumps every time.
The Magic School Bus, I didn't watch that. DuckTales, I didn't watch that. Pepper Ann, no. Doug.
Peppa Pig.
I watched Doug. Peppa Pig.
Yeah, Doug was good.
The Mummins, I watched that as well. Recess. You watch Recess?
Yeah.
Recess was good. There's a kid at my school, little grass in Recess, little like, skinny. There's a kid at school looked like him. He used to get beats, you know.
Wendell.
Oh, this is the best. Inspector Gadget. There's the guy with the cat. Like, I'll get you next time.
I think I just saw the film.
Oh wow, yeah, the cartoon was the one, bruv.
No.
Carice explains it all. That was good. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, same two girls, same woman. One. Did you ever watch like the original Ninja Mutant Turtles? No. That was the one.
Power Rangers.
That was literally next on the list. Was the original one with Tommy, Jason, Zach, Billy, Trini.
Okay. There we go.
They were the ones, man.
And Beyblade.
The New Adventures of Winnie. I never watched Winnie the Pooh. Teletubbies. No, I didn't watch that. Yeah, Tweenies. Beyond my time. What else was there? Banana Man. Banana Man was the one.
No, you're making that up.
No, Banana Man was a real thing. I'll show you the video later.
Why did you not watch so much TV? I don't
My
get
mate, because when we were growing up, there weren't.
Why did you watch so much TV, fam?
Where I grew up, there weren't even a park to play in, so that's why you had to watch it. Button Moon.
Did you like go for a walk or something?
Chuckle Vision. Yes, that was the show. That was the show. Chuckle Vision.
Chuckle Vision.
Well, yeah,
Chuckle Vision.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you watch Pinky and the Brain? Pinky and the Brain was good. Pinky and the Brain. Yeah, it was good.
That. But, fam. Yeah, like intermittently.
Let's see what other ones. Postman Pat. No,
I don't understand.
Do you remember Funhouse with Pat Sharp?
No.
You don't remember Funhouse?
I've never watched that.
That had the best theme. It was like Funhouse, a whole lot of fun. There's prizes to be won.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
We're still on there.
I used to love that. I'm gonna go home and watch some of these. That's my show. I was talking about the Queen's Nose. I like the Queen's Nose. A little ginger girl. I quite fancied her. The Worst Witch. No, the Demon Headmaster was the one. Round the Twist.
Play School.
Play School was amazing.
Look through the square window.
Wait. Have you ever felt like this? When it's coming around the twist.
Yes,
Okay.
This one wasn't on terrestrial TV, only on Saturday mornings, Channel 4, but Keenan and Kel. Must watch Keenan.
Of course I watch Keenan and Kel.
I love that show.
Come on, man.
Nickelodeon. Sister. We watched that. Short Change.
Nah.
Do you watch Wacky Racers?
Yeah, with Dastardly Duck or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Devil.
Finders Keepers. Oh, this was a good cartoon.
Dastardly Devil.
What was the Animals of Farthingwood?
I feel like I'm
Bewitched.
old, bruv. I
What
don't
about
even know
Bewitched?
half this stuff.
Do you ever watch Bewitched?
Bewitched is good. Yeah, I watched
watch?
Bewitched, the original. I watched a lot of TV as a kid. It was the only safe thing to do. Fresh Prince, we know. Saved by the Bell. You watched Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, with Screech.
Oh, you watched it? Yeah, was he a teacher or a student?
Screech was a student.
Oh, good. You watched it, because there was a second lot that came in. He was like Screech stayed in it. But he was like this teacher's helper.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
What was that? Melchester Rover, was it? What was that?
The Wild Fawn Breeds.
Screech was a neat
Let's do some of these comments here. Inspector Gadget was mad, to be honest. He's getting some good comments here. Fresh Prince.
Don't know.
Some people are saying that some of these shows are on Netflix still. You can watch
What about Footballers' Wives? You watched that?
Corey in the House. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I don't know about Footballers' Wives.
Mona the Vampire.
I never. Mona the Vampire. That show went off. I love Mona the Vampire.
Terry reminds me of Lippy Zippy. I don't know who that is. Oh,
maybe it was on the round.
I never read the UFF comment. Tell me it's on mine. Because I'm on my channel. Sorry. Spider-Man, we watched that. Simpsons is there. What else we got here?
That's dead.
Chuckle Vision.
Chuckle Vision.
Garfield and Friends. The Raccoons.
What was that Sky one with the football team on Sky?
Dream Team.
Dream Team.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mr. Blobby.
I
used to watch that on the DL though. My mum didn't watch that. I used to watch that.
Yeah, because it's a little bit rude, as it were. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, Rosie and Jim was banging Zippy. I look like Zippy from Rainbow.
That Carl Fletcher was on it. He played West Ham, didn't
This
he?
is the one though.
Yeah.
There's two shows that we're missing out on
West
here.
Ham as well.
I think
There's two shows we're missing. First one.
That Carl Fletcher went on to play.
If I was to say to you, I have the power. What am I talking about?
I've got the power. That's
No. If I would say Masters of the Universe, I have the power, and pull a sword out from my back and hold it in the air. Who am I?
My brother. That sounded like King Arthur. My history.
I'm He-Man, bruv. He-Man. And there's another one. If I was to go Thunder, Thundercats. Oh, I love that show too. I can't believe they made a movie of that film.
Thunderbirds was good.
Thunderbirds was good. It was like puppets. Was that Sugar and Spice and All Things Nice?
All Things Nice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mojo Jojo. I've never watched this in my life, Claude.
When you went to school, did they still have did you have pen and paper, or was it chalkboards to write, little chalkboards to write, or did you have paper and pens?
Don't have it.
Pen and paper.
Oh, you had that. My dad was at school and it was like chalkboards still.
Oh no, we had chalkboards. Yeah, we had chalkboards.
So I didn't have Digimon. I had a Tamagotchi.
Oh yeah.
You know Tamagotchis. Tamagotchis, yo-yo, but mainly footballs. That's all I played at school. Fighting. Grot bags. Yes, man said grot bags. Do you know who grot bag is?
What an idiot.
What?
How can you say you played fighting? What's wrong with you?
Do you know who grot bags is? Grot bags.
You know it's an international break when you're talking about all this crap.
Do you know who grot bags is?
Nah, I don't have a clue.
Oh, you must remember grot bag. Her.
Who's that?
They didn't know who grot bag is.
Is that even real?
Of course, I just made it up on the internet.
Grot bags.
Grot bags.
What kind of name is that? Grot bags.
Grot bags. Yeah, that was an ITV show, I think. That was the one, bruv. That was the one. Let's see if we can see
any more calls.
Man just said Futurama. That's too modern, bruv.
Yeah. I love a bit of Futurama.
No, I never got that. I couldn't. It was so nice made by the same people as Simpsons. That's why I couldn't watch it.
Mona the Vampire.
But now my son just watches bare stuff on YouTube, like things I've never heard before. Like he goes, like my son's Irish, but he's like, Daddy, can I watch Zach's toy review? And I'm like, what's that accent about? That's how he says it, because he watched all this American stuff on things. Like, honestly, certain words will come up to me, and it's just like stupid. Like he'll be like I was putting
toy review.
I was putting the I was putting the rubbish out the other day, right? And he's like, why he's like, Daddy, why are you taking the garbage out? And I'm like, why are you saying garbage? And he's like, well, that's how they like he shows me the thing. But he's literally like loads of words he comes out with sound so American because he watches so much YouTube.
Garbage.
It's mental. And my niece used to do this where she'd play like with her toys, but she'd talk in American accents playing with her ponies because she used to watch My Little Pony. Damn, I don't need that accent here.
My Little Pony.
Right. We wrapped up now.
Lazy Town? No. I didn't watch Lazy Town.
Let's just assume I haven't watched the show anymore.
Danger Mouse.
Nope.
Secret Squirrel?
Nah.
Can you get a call on stop all this?
No, we're done. Listen, good night, take care, God bless, we'll see you all again.
Ostentatious Otter.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.